everyone, and welcome to Yucaipa. My name is Bobby Duncan. I'm currently serving as the mayor of Yucaipa, and we're standing here in our revitalized Uptown, historic Uptown. The city of Yucaipa has spent a lot of time and energy revitalizing the Uptown, which is where the city of Yucaipa started initially. My family moved here in 1981. I raised my children here, and this area wasn't at all then like it is now. We understood and we saw the value of taking the origin of Yucaipa, which is the historic Uptown, and revitalizing it and making it a destination point for as many visitors as we get to come, so we can compete with the cities round about us. And as you can see from by looking around, we have spent a great deal of energy and money in making this look more presentable and more up to date. Yucaipa is a very business-friendly city. We've had a lot of new businesses move into town last year and the beginning of this year. We have Lemon Shark Poke, which is not in the Uptown, but down the street just a little ways. We have Juice It Up, is brand new. They've just recently come to town. We've got the Wine Merchant. We've got Suvig Winery. Suvig Winery manufactures their own wine here. We've got Brewcaipa down the street. Brewcaipa is a business, a microbrewery, where we've helped them get the business going, so that we can attract, make Yucaipa a destination point. We're trying to create a nightlife down here so that the area is alive and moving during the summer. And if you have a business or you want to start a business, Yucaipa it welcomes you to come to town. We would love to have you here. And because of our business-friendly attitude and processes, it's very, very easy to start a business in Yucaipa.
Hi, my name is Paul Toomey.
And I'm Jennifer Crawford. And this has been our project for the last 5 years. Feels like a lifetime.
The Yucaipa Performing Arts Center. Finishing touches on the inside are getting wrapped up. You can hear the construction taking place on the outdoor plaza space right now.
Just wanted to give you some history of this project. Back in 2014, we began the design of this facility.
You can see it's a craftsman-inspired architecture, much like other city facilities. On the inside, we have, what?
An indoor theater.
An indoor theater, which is the whole idea.
It has retractable seating that seats about 300 people that can be pushed back, and we can have an open floor space for meetings and conferences and even weddings.
The actual stage gets removed as well, so it really is a flexible space.
Just to let you know, the construction of this project, the award for the 19 multiple primes was fall of 2016, but the construction didn't happen until
it was about January. We were grading and then the rains fell, and then that slowed the whole thing down, and we've been trying to catch up ever since. One big feature about this project, about this facility, is actually the outdoor stage. It literally has a door hanger, or a door that is part of what would be a hangar that opens up out onto the outdoor plaza, where we have about 4,000, maybe 5,000 people if they're doing this, watching the rock show, watching the lights overhead, experiencing a really good concert environment. And so we're really looking forward to our first event, which will be in May as we start the music festival.
But the grand opening of this facility will be in April, on April 11th actually, 2019.
And I know you're going to want to be a part of every aspect, because the entertainment that's going to be in this building will have a little bit of something for everybody.
So let's go through the features of this building. We have an indoor theater.
We have the catering kitchen.
We have a concession area.
We have a multi-purpose room for dancing class and art classes.
We have 2 offices for city staff.
And we got a really nice lobby where we can hold reception.
We really hope that you enjoy this facility. It's a great addition to our community, especially in the Uptown area.
And we are finally done.
I'm Dick Riddell, and I'm a city council member in the city of Yucaipa, have been for a quarter of a century. I love the city and I love serving the citizens of the city. I'm here today to talk about flood control and water recharge in the city of Yucaipa. There's 3 main waterways that flow through Yucaipa. It's the Wilson Creek, the Oak Glen Creek, and the Wildwood Creek. And there's a number of tributaries that flow into these as they traverse through the city. And these three waterways eventually merge, and the water would flow down Live Oak Canyon to San Timoteo Canyon, down San Timoteo Canyon to the Santa Ana River, and then on to the Prado Dam and Prado Basin. When the city incorporated, there was some severe flood control problems within the city, and also our infrastructure was in dire need of improvement. The 1936 flood and the 1989 flood devastated Yucaipa, and there was a drastic, a very important need to improve the flood control facilities and the water recharge facilities. When it rained, the city was virtually landlocked. And the only way you could get in and out of Yucaipa was on Yucaipa Boulevard. And it was very difficult for the people who lived in outlying areas to even get to Yucaipa Boulevard. So a study determined that the best solution for improving our flood control was to install a number of basins upstream that would retain the water and keep from flowing down to the Dunlap area, which is in a floodplain. Now, today we're standing at a project that's under construction that will provide a crossing on Fremont Street across the Wilson Creek channel. It's not only going to provide flood control benefits, but it's also going to provide some water recharge benefits. This was a very dangerous street. It was narrow and it dipped down down to the water level of the basin and then back up, and the sight distance was very poor, and it was narrow and a very dangerous crossing. This new crossing will be box culverts similar to the ones that we've installed before. It'll be exactly like the one that's on Sixth Place, and the street will be widened. There'll be curb and gutter, sidewalks, and it'll be a safe crossing for both vehicle and pedestrian traffic. Upstream of the crossing, there's going to be a basin that will capture about 300 acre-feet per year. An acre-foot provides sufficient water to supply 2 households for a year. So that this one basin in itself would supply 600 households. In all these basins and also channel improvements, we've tried to make them environmentally pleasing. We've installed multi-use trails, installed trees, benefits, and made them as much of a park-like setting as possible. That has been along our basins and along our channels. This one is part of what we refer to as the North Bench Water Resources Plan. And it allows us to install more environmental improvements than we have before because of the space that's available. The one that follows this is on Pendleton, which is across the Oak Glen Creek, just south of Oak Glen Road. And that one affords itself to install even more benefits. It also has a basin that will allow us to recharge about 300 acre-feet per year, but there's more room for more of a park-like setting. And so it's going to be quite an improvement. In addition to that, the road's going to be realigned so that Pendleton enters Oak Glen Road at a right angle instead of the way it does now at a 45-degree angle, which is dangerous. Our next big channel improvement is going to be on Wilson Creek, and it has been determined to be a high priority channel, and it's going to provide the greatest flood control benefits and the best water recharge benefits of anything we've done so far. The final project that we have planned for this North Bench Water Resources Plan is a corridor in Oak Glen Creek Basin, 35-acre corridor, which will be a wildlife corridor, a park-like setting. We're going to install all native trees and plants, get rid of invasive plants such as eucalyptus trees, and that will pretty much complete our plan that we have in place. So we're looking forward to completion of this project, and we're looking forward to the completion of the plan. And we've made great strides in providing flood control and water resource benefits for the city of Yucaipa. Thank you.
I'm David Avila, Mayor Pro Tem for the City of Yucaipa. I'm here to talk to you about Yucaipa City Fire Department, which is part of the CAL FIRE system, which, as you know, is a statewide fire protection agency. We are very proud of our fire department as they responded to over 7,900 calls last year, which equals to about 22 calls a day. 72% of those calls are medical aids, with the rest being fires and other emergencies and non-emergency response requests. We are one of the busiest fire departments in the CAL FIRE system, and certainly the busiest in San Bernardino County Ranger Unit. Our fire department also participates in a couple of different programs. One includes the Community Emergency Response Team program, which trains individuals to protect themselves, their families, and their neighbors in the event of a disaster. They're trained to do light first aid, damage assessment, and overall providing comfort to their neighbors in the event of any type of fire, earthquake, or other disaster. In addition to that, last year, our fire department participated in what we call the Sound the Alarm, whereby volunteers go and install smoke alarms into the various communities that may need them. Last year again, 69 volunteers from the Red Cross, the fire department, City Hall, and service organizations installed 228 smoke alarms and educated 220 individuals on fire safety.
Hi, my name is Paul Toomey. I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Yucaipa.
And my name is Kelly Graydon. I'm the Senior Code Enforcement Officer for the City of Yucaipa.
Like most cities, homelessness touches the City of Yucaipa as one of a challenge that we need to try to find best solutions to resolve some of the problems where we can. One of the key partners we started with a few years ago is the Yucaipa Outreach Project. It's in here in Yucaipa, and they offer everything from back to work training, life skills, food, and then of course housing vouchers in the hope that they eventually get them back on track in that regard. The last efforts we've had have been pretty challenging, but we can still find success. We've got a lot more partners than just the outreach program. Name a few that I think.
And some of our partners are within the county of San Bernardino. We have the Department of Behavioral Health, Adult Protective Services, the HOPE team, the Homeless Partnership Program, as well as the churches here in the city of Yucaipa and local shelters.
We have a worker program that the city has budgeted for that allows individuals, even with the most spotty backgrounds, to be able to qualify to work as a temporary position for the City of Yucaipa in Public Works Department. That helps get them back into the employment idea, produce a little more responsibility in that regard, and eventually put them on track to be gainfully employed in a more permanent position. And so we've had a few success stories out of that as well. One of our more interesting projects has been a housing project that has set aside units that are set aside for those who have some kind of mental disabilities, but they can still live independently. I think Kelly has an example of one of our residents there, don't you?
Yeah, one of our residents in the Horizons Project was a 20-year homeless individual in the city of Yucaipa. I started talking to him about the possibility of getting one of these apartments, and I think he was in disbelief in the beginning, but as the days went on and I kept speaking with him on it, he became engaged and enthusiastic about the possibility of having an apartment. And After a long process, after applications and assessments and interviews, he finally got into his apartment, and it's been a little over 2 years now, and he's doing quite well. I did speak to him yesterday, and he reminisced with me about times when he had to sleep on the side of the freeway or under the bridge, and he's just so grateful now that he has his apartment.
My name is Greg Bogue. I am currently a city council member for the city of Yucaipa, and I'm right here in front of the Yucaipa police station. Multiple Enforcement Team, MET deputies, along with Probation Officer Aloha, conduct targeted enforcement directed at locations that create frequent police calls for service, are linked to ongoing criminal activity, and work with allied agencies such as parole, probation, to target repeat offenders, parolees, and probationers to ensure they remain in compliance with the law and the terms of their release. ALPR cameras. While the most high-profile role of the automatic license plate reader cameras is to recover stolen vehicles, they also are used for investigations. The cameras are always on, always capturing plates and feeding that information into a searchable database we can use to look for suspect vehicles. Traffic safety is a combination of education, enforcement, and engineering. During 2018, the Yucaipa Police Department resumed a traffic enforcement program with a full-time dedicated traffic deputy. Deputy Steve Gidcombe, who is currently assigned to the traffic position, engages in proactive traffic enforcement to address speeding, red light violations, stop sign violations, and other moving violations that commonly lead to traffic collisions. Deputy Alicia Rosa is currently assigned as the Quality of Life Deputy. In this role, she works with community and social service groups to help address issues like drug abuse. She routinely attends meetings related to homelessness and tries to connect people in need with services to get them off of the streets. Rosa has built a strong relationship with the area's homeless population and has assisted in 8 people getting into long-term housing. Crime-Free Multifamily Housing Program, the CFMH, is a collaborative effort between the Yucaipa Police Department, Code Enforcement, and Mobile Home Park Management to help lower crime in and around mobile home parks and provide managers and owners with the tools needed to evict and remove problem tenants.
Hi, I'm Ray Casey. I'm the City Manager at the City of Yucaipa. Today I want to talk a little bit about infrastructure in the City of Yucaipa. We have invested in our infrastructure over the years in drainage projects and storm drain projects, recharge projects, groundwater recharge, street improvements, sidewalk improvements, trail improvements, parks and facilities. And today we're talking about this project here on Yucaipa Boulevard. It is a partnership between the City of Yucaipa, Yucaipa Valley Water District, Western Heights, and Edison. It includes relocating utilities, many of which are being undergrounded, and so that we take away the kind of the view of the poles and the lines and make it more aesthetically pleasing. We're also widening the street, adding lanes, adding curb, gutter, and sidewalks, and partnership with the Water District and the Water Company, we're also installing new waters and new sewer lines. And all of that is very necessary in this greater Dunlap area that's lacking sewer and water. In addition, we've recently completed improvements to 5th Street between Yucaipa Boulevard and Avenue E. And again, those were street improvements, sidewalk improvements, some utility improvements as well. And then another project that was recently completed was several blocks of County Line Road project with Avenue H. That was a project that was supporting the nearby elementary schools and also provided, again, curb gutter and sidewalk, bike lanes, street widening, etc. So another investment in that part of the community that also helps access to schools for children. And so what follows the infrastructure oftentimes are private investments. And we've seen that in phases of Yucaipa Boulevard and other street improvement projects that we've completed, and drainage improvements for that matter. We've seen private investment in the Aldi's and the Starbucks Center. We've seen private investment in the Uptown with Yucaipa and Suveg wineries. We've seen private investments also with the wine merchant. Now a Fire Pizza getting ready to open. All of those partly because of the public investment that we have made. Following that series of improvements, we have now started on the Performing Arts Theater and our parking lot and street improvements around the Performing Arts Theater. And again, we're going to probably see that private investment continue to follow the public investment. What we're seeing here on Yucaipa Boulevard is the largest commercial development we've ever seen in Yucaipa, somewhere around 30 acres, depending on which final parcels are acquired by the developer. But it will include a series of restaurant pads and a couple of anchors, and we're all excited to find out who those restaurants are going to be. But it's exciting to see that private investment once again follow the public investment here in Yucaipa.
Hello everyone, here we are again in Yucaipa. We're visiting some of the local businesses, and we're here at Sorenson Engineering, a business that when I first discovered this business, I was very excited about it. They are the jewel business of Yucaipa. They've been here since 1956. They have been in business for 60 years. They're the largest employer, I believe, in Yucaipa.
Sorenson Engineering started in 1956, and we are a manufacturer of mostly some sort of electrical connector. If you look at our website, it will say Micro Technology Solutions. That means we make very small parts, high precision. And we service many industries like aerospace, space, medical, dental, some military defense, microwave test equipment, but all in the highly precise manufacturing world. We have 382 employees now. We have grown tremendously over the last couple of years. We've added about 160 employees in that 2-year span, so we've virtually doubled. We offer many opportunities for both entry-level and experienced personnel. We hire from universities, we hire from local schools. We like to hire locally, and it proves it in our numbers. We have about 38% of our employees are from Yucaipa.
The reason I got really excited about it is because typically in the world today, or in the country today, we import products to this country from all over the world. Well, Sorenson Engineering actually manufactures components and products here that they ship out into the world, and which is kind of the opposite of what the United States is doing overall. But that's the reason I say it's the jewel of Yucaipa, because we're doing something here, it's kind of the best kept secret. We're doing things here that the rest of the country wish they could do, and we have Sorenson Engineering to thank for that. It's very important to us to make sure that Sorenson Engineering understands how happy we are to have them here. We're very blessed to have them in our city, and we work very hard to accommodate them in any way that we can, and we're trying to help expand their business and create more jobs, which is really important to everyone.
I'm Ray Casey. I'm the city manager here at the city of Yucaipa. I work for about 50 employees here at the city, in addition to our contract police and contract fire services. And I want to talk to you today about the budget. And it all starts with net revenues on an annual basis, right? If you don't have net revenues over expenses, there's not a lot you can do outside of your normal operating efforts. And so the city, I can proudly say, over the years, going back to the early 90s, has always had a structural fund balance, a structural annual net revenue in our budget. And from that, the City Council on an annual basis is able to prioritize certain investments. But we don't get there unless the City Council is very fiscally conservative in our budgeting, in our establishing of a budget. Our accounting folks are very good at employing cost control measures. And finally, we do a lot with a few people here at City Hall. So as a result of all those things, we typically have an annual net revenue that we're able to use to invest in some of those extraordinary expenses as prioritized by the City Council. And so the City Council annually goes through a goals and objectives process and prioritizes those investments, and some of those investments might take several years to save money for, and some of those investments may happen on an annual basis. So over the years, the city has been able to fund a new city hall, a new police station, a new fire station, and park improvements. And now, of course, we're finishing up the Performing Arts Theater in the Uptown area, together with some other improvements around the Performing Arts Theater. And those investments are prioritized through a goals and objectives process and a service level option process in our budgets, incorporated into our budgets. And we can do that because we've always had healthy reserves. And this year is no exception to that rule either. At the end of fiscal year 17-18, with our audit report, we learned that our net revenues have resulted in an undesignated general fund balance, kind of an untethered savings account, if you will, of $22 million. In addition, with the rest of the general fund balance, the fire fund balance, the other general fund balance account components, we're at a total of $47 million in general fund balance. We also learned that our annual operating expense last year, at the end of the year, the estimated actual amount is about $24.3 million with fire and general fund together. So as a percentage, the total undesignated fund balance, savings account if you will, is about 90%. As a percentage, our total general fund balance as a percentage of that $24.3 million is almost 200%. So those are numbers that are really unmatched. Very few cities across the state, or the nation for that matter, have reserves in those amounts. And so again, that allows the City Council to prioritize its investments going forward.
Welcome everyone. My name is Denise Allen and I'm one of 5 members of your elected Yucaipa City Council. I'd like to welcome you to our Yucaipa Performing Arts Center, also known as the YPAC, and I'm going to today go over some of the amazing events and activities that we have planned for this venue. So welcome everyone. I'm standing on the stage on the indoor theater of our new Performing Arts Center, and I'm going to take some time this afternoon to talk to you about all of the different kind of events that we're going to be able to host in this new theater. So the seats do retract. They go all the way against the back wall, which opens up the space, allowing us to put tables and chairs, or just to have a dance floor to accommodate the types of events that the members of our community are looking to host here. Very exciting. We also have the stage. The stage will extend. It'll go all the way out to the far curtain here, and it will be able to accommodate performances by groups like our little theater groups, other community groups, maybe some live performances from some theatrical groups we bring in from the outside. Additionally, we're going to have a marketing campaign so that members of the community, not only local but in the surrounding communities, will know what kind of events and activities and performances that we do have going on here so that they can come, look at our center, maybe attend an event, and hopefully explore the rest of our community. So additionally, we're going to be able to host movies here if we want. There's a screen that will come down, or actually from the ceiling above, and we'll be able to show movies in this venue, which should be exciting as well. Depends again on what the community is asking us to do. We will also be asking for feedback. We'll have surveys that members of the community can give us. We will get feedback not only on the events we're hosting, but on future events that the members of the community might like to see us put on here in the indoor theater. We're also partnering with the Chamber of Commerce. They have a space here. We have some space in the outside lobby so that we can promote the arts. We would like you to come and explore our Performing Arts Theater. Bring your events here. Think about what you can host. Really, this is your venue, and hopefully you will take advantage of this new amazing space. I'm here on the outdoor stage at our new Yucaipa Performing Arts Center. This is the venue in which all of our outdoor events and concerts will take place. As you know, we have been hosting outdoor events here in our historic Uptown for the past 8 years, and they have been very, very successful in terms of getting people to come explore Yucaipa. We know that the arts and the creative industries draws people to a community, brings a community together, and also fosters jobs and growth. And so that's a good thing for our city. We're going to continue to host those events, only now we're going to put them here on this outdoor stage. Currently we're hosting 3 events. Our Art and Music Festival, which we are going to continue. This is going to happen the first weekend in May this year. We have Fog Hat as our opening act on Friday night. And then on Saturday we have the Blues Traveler. And of course James Wesley, our good old hometown country western boy, is coming back to help us celebrate the opening of this center. And then on Sunday we will have some cover bands doing some 80s music. So come on out, 3-day event, and help us celebrate with a grand opening that weekend of our Performing Arts Theater and the Great Plaza. Additionally, we have our Autumn Fest, which we put on in September, typically the last weekend. That's a 2-day event, more focused on our community and bringing out the community to celebrate together. And also we have our Winter Fest, which we have added and very proud of. We build a big slide and kids can slide down the snowbank on sleds. We have our trees, which we light up with Santa Claus. We bring Santa Claus in on a big old fire truck. And then we have music that celebrates the season. And again, that will be hosted on this outdoor stage. Also, we have the Uptown Friday nights, and we're going to have those hosted in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce. Those will be also here in the Uptown. We're going to bring in vendors. This year we're calling it Uptown Unplugged. All the music will be acoustic music, therefore the term unplugged. And we're hoping that we will continue to get not only the members of our community to come to our historic Uptown for those Friday nights, but also bring your friends, members from the surrounding communities to help us celebrate our historic Uptown on our Friday nights. Finally, we have our Yucaipa Rodeo. This is a new event we've added in partnership with the Yucaipa Equestrian Group. We're very proud of this event. This year will be our second rodeo, the Yucaipa Rodeo. We actually are going to be doing a ribbon cutting at the Equestrian Center to celebrate the new cover for the Equestrian Center Arena. And of course, our dedication to Dottie Potter, who really was a visionary for equestrian efforts throughout the community. And so we hope you come celebrate with us and enjoy this terrific venue. Thank you.
We're here to talk about some of our upcoming projects today, but first I wanted to start with what's behind me here. El Dorado Ranch was acquired a number of years ago in cooperation with Wildlands Conservancy and Yucaipa Valley Conservancy. It's about 340 acres. Wildlands Conservancy initially donated the property to Yucaipa Valley Conservancy, and who in turn donated the property to the city with certain conditions. We had to build the Phase 1 improvements, which included the restroom, the public restroom, and the parking lot improvements along Oak Glen Road, and make sure that it was always accessible to the public. In addition, they had asked for the city to commit to building some equestrian or group camping areas in the El Dorado Ranch. And what I'm about to share with you is a conceptual plan that the city has approved with input from the neighbors and other committee members that the City Council established. And that project includes those group camping elements that the Wildlands Conservancy was interested in, both equestrian group camping and family or other types of group camping as well. In addition to the ranch house being converted with the area around it to an event center, and some other wildlife area improvements, trail improvements that are a part of that project. We hope to build that project in phases over the next several years with some volunteer efforts, as we've done with other projects in the community. In addition, we're working on Dunlap Park project, which is located near Avenue E and Colorado Road and Oak Glen Road. It's about a 5-acre site. It includes an active lake. It includes a small commercial or community center. It also includes trailhead parking for access to our master plan trail system at that location. The next project we hope to work on this year is our College Village. We hope to get that final design completed. The conceptual design and master plan have been approved by the City Council, and we're moving forward with implementation plans with a number of partners this coming year. And that will be a mixed-use project with some student and faculty housing, an innovation center that includes flex campus space, includes the workforce training elements, includes the incubator center elements that we already have at the old police station at 5th Street and Yucaipa Boulevard, moved up to the innovation center. In addition, we'll be working on a number of other projects over the course of the next year or two. You'll see some additional bridge projects, Pendleton Street. You'll see Wilson 3 Basin Project and the associated improvements at Oak Glen Creek Estates. That calls for about 144 single-family homes next to a lake near Oak Glen Road and Bryant Street. And then, of course, the hotel. We hope to see the hotel, our first hotel, break ground this coming year. 93 units, and next to the Arco station that was recently opened at Oak Glen and the freeway. And so we're excited to see that project come out of the ground. In addition, we're working on improvements to County Line Road in cooperation with the City of Calamasa. We recently completed the first phase about a month ago. We have other phases in final design and other phases in planning. We hope to complete improvements literally all the way from Bryant Street to Calamasa Boulevard over the next couple of years. And in closing, I'd like to talk a little bit about our efforts to go forward with an AVA application in partnership with the Yucaipa Wine Alliance, and what that might do for the city of Yucaipa in the form of economic development opportunities, including potential for vineyards, additional wine tasting rooms, and wineries in general, and of course the benefit of having housing mixed in some of those vineyard areas and the value associated with that. Really look forward to working with the Yucaipa Wine Alliance and businesses in the community. Appreciate the opportunity to share with you all that we have been working on in 2018 and what we look forward to in 2019 and 2020. As you can see, we've been very busy, and we'll continue to stay busy in the upcoming years.